Okay, so do you want to tell us who you are and your involvement?
Yeah, my name's Paul Lee. I'm chair of a practice patient group from Manchester, and I've been involved with NHS Citizen, for most of the 18 months.
Okay.
And the September event was like a pinnacle event. Okay. It was truly excellent. It had an extremely wide, if you like, the way that things have been distilled were excellent as far as I was concerned, and it was expansive. It really involved a terrific group of people. Now, I was very interested in access to service, because basically as a patient group, we're looking at primary service and dissatisfaction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the pre-paper that was drafted before it was excellent. It had this breakdown of huge amount of stats that were enormously important for us because we'd asked for them.
Yeah.
And there it was in black and white, all these stats about what was going on and what the hopes and aspirations of other people were. So it allowed us to calibrate ourselves against those ideas. But, sorry.
No, go on. So have you got any memories of the commitments that the board made in relation to?
Well, there was, ironically enough, I got very much involved in the subsets where you went to like the transgender stuff and things like that. So my memories of the day are more to do with the things that I didn't go to be involved in, but became quite fascinated in listening to.
Right.
As opposed to just the access to service things, which I was pretty much not up to speed on, but I knew the areas that people were going to try and tackle to make access to service better.
Right.
But the big influence on the day for me was the fact that the people who constructed the day had taken the views of lots of people and then made it very broad indeed. And as I say, the deciding thing for me today was listening to the stories of the transgender people who I found it fascinating, and also it connected you to people in a way that I'd never thought about families and the wider experience of people and how people on the edge. I mean, I'm your classic fat white northern male, the sort of like, and but I was just drawn into the things. So my experience today was more to do with the things I didn't expect than the things I did.
Which is really valuable in itself, isn't it?
It was very valuable, and I just think that bringing people together in a situation like that allows people to see things about life, and understanding about people who live on the streets who I don't meet, and the problems that they have and why they would use A&E and wouldn't use a doctor and this and the other. And people, from communities like the gypsy community and what their experience is and why they do what they do. That was really, I just thought it was very, really valuable insight.
And what are your hopes for today?
I want to see that the ideas that were set down in September have come into the document, and that there's real clear ideas about to progress those matters. Because what came out of those, or the last 18 months hopefully, is listening to a lot of voices and then basically trying to make a reality of that. A lot of people from a lot of backgrounds made a lot of sense. But the point is, whether or not you can
turn that into something. That's completely different. It's easy to talk and it's easy to run away with yourself, but making those things a reality and doable are entirely different things. But I mean, I'm hopeful from the professionals that I've listened to that they can distill that. Because the thing was that it was no doubt to me that when I listened to other people, I didn't really need to be there, because everything I had thought of and everything we discussed well, there's 14 people in our PPG, and the views we had were expressed almost again and again and again. And the things that we believe are wrong and need putting right were absolutely covered because of the scope of people involved.
Yeah.
So it was, as I say, it wasn't hard to be me in this situation.
Brilliant.
I didn't really have to argue a lot. I upset one or two people.
Well, thank you very much indeed. We'll stop at that point. Cheers.
But you can't please everybody all the time. Sorry.